I mean, these days there's so much neoclassical architecture, or like confusing Greek architecture with neoclassical architecture, which is like over 1,000 years apart. But it's like it's people copying the old stuff, or not copying, but very closely following, shall we say, the old Greek designs. Alright, so if we imagine we have a skylight in the middle here, which I don't know how we're gonna fit that in, but imagine there's a skylight in here, and the water is, I guess, out here. Wait, is that the whole thing? Let me just double check. That balcony, up to that balcony, that balcony. I'm not sure. And then those two, yeah, no, this is right. Okay, so the basic path is in. I'm not sure what we do about this, actually. I don't like I just remove this again. Is this gonna be mostly a solid wall? It, I don't know. Don't really know. What happens from here? I don't know what happens there, but this side is easy though. This side is much easier. Let's start from this side. Okay, let's start from the easy side and not worry about the other side. Let's go sandstone. Can drop that for now. Drop that for now. Chiseled? Smooth? Smooth. We don't want the chiseled stuff, it's just how it's whack. Maybe we do. No, it's whack. Smooth sandstone. And sandstone stairs. So let's say these lines are gonna be smooth sandstone. The smooth sandstone is gonna outline the thing, which we probably need a foundation at some point. I don't know if we flatten the land to put the foundation down. Maybe we do, just to simulate the desert. If we cut everything back and flatten it out, then so if we flatten it to this level, do I put cobble around the outside? Actually, how much space do we have out here? Actually, not much space, is there? Stone slab. Let's say we... Can I double slab? I can't double slab. So we slab all the way around. This is the foundation. Not sure what happens there, but this is the foundation. And the sandstone rises out of the foundation, kind of. fill that in. What is this? What is this down here? This is nothing useful, is what this is. There, and we don't have to fill that in. Alright, so foundation down to here, which means a lot of this hill has to go, I guess. To there. Right. And then it's gonna sit above the water a little bit, which is a little bit strange. We might think about this, because there's the edge of a river here, and the river I mean, this is strange. The river goes underneath the village. Everything is strange. Alright, so we go here, here. And so then the Hanging Gardens is gonna rise up out of the river even. Keeping in mind there's gonna be waterfalls. Oh, the waterfall's gonna go into the river, sweet. Actually, it's gonna be pretty cool. Okay. Alright, punching through those, and then 1 and 2. I did that completely wrong. We need to go down 1 more block. This side is a bigger question. Because it's higher up here. If the waterfall comes down here and flows into the water, think about this. Anyway, so here, down another block. I don't always flatten out the ground to fit the building, but because it is Babylonian, we're talking about desert architecture, and a desert is often quite flat, right? So even though we're not actually in the desert, we're in like the plains part, the desert's over that way. We're pretending that we're building we're pretending that we are building in the desert. And so this approach of like starting from flat ground is more common when you build in the desert. In fact, if you look at cities like Dubai and like desert cities, it is like they're remarkably flat. And the pyramids, for example, they're very striking because it's like in the desert. So it's a lot of flat ground, and then the pyramids just rise up out of the flat ground. And it's more striking because of that, as opposed to if you build the pyramids next to a giant mountain, then it'd be less striking because it's not, you know, rising up out of flat ground. For example, like the South American pyramids that are built in the middle of the jungles, you lose the pyramids in the jungles because the trees just grow over the pyramids. I mean, it's a different thing, but it's not like it's not as striking as the pyramids in Egypt. Not to say they're bad, I'm just saying the effect is different, the visual effect. So because we're going down to the flat ground, it means we are getting down to there. And down to there. So I'm thinking this is gonna be solid sandstone pretty much. Like if I go through here and sandstone this in, we might have some windows at some point. But at the moment I'm thinking maybe this is just a solid block. Maybe we need some texture though. Some texture in the sandstone. Not sure how I do it. So like this whole thing is just a solid block of stone. And again, going back to the old Babylonian architecture, everything is like massive and heavy because the engineering back then was not as advanced, and so you didn't have the technology to build hollow structures. So like the pyramids are pretty much solid stone because they didn't really have the technology to figure out columns and beams to make the pyramid hollow inside. Whereas these days, if you look at the glass pyramid at the Louvre in Paris, it's like a steel framed glass pyramid, and the whole thing's just hollow on the inside. So that's kind of what I mean when I say engineering technology allowing certain things. Alright, if we imagine that, details to come. For now, let me just block in the outline, and we'll not worry about the details until later. So we're looking at that. That we're not going to see this at all, but let me just maybe do that properly. maybe we'll see it on the inside. I'm not sure that we will. Alright, so here, that's also gonna be smooth. That's gonna be smooth. That's smooth. And that should probably extend this line down to the ground, which I guess that means this line is going to be smooth. I guess you will see this on the inside. Maybe you will see that on the inside. Does that mean that should be smooth? Pretty sure you don't see that. I mean that... Does that mean this should be smooth? Alright, so this is smooth sandstone down here. Like that. Whoa! And that. Just want to like double check. Everything is yellow on yellow, it's very hard to see. Okay, this I haven't done. And so now this and then this stuff. Also, it's this thing's gonna be super symmetrical, so no modern asymmetrical shenanigans. It's gonna be just really classic. I just realized. Is this 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not 8. It's an odd number. I'm laughing because it's 8, 8, 9, 8, 8. You almost don't see it. You almost don't see the fact that it is not consistent. I think we also do that. Yeah, no, this is probably a good idea. So there's like a grid, kind of, except that it doesn't actually line up completely. I was wondering whether to put details in the middle here. So now that there's a grid, it might be easier to put in details in the middle. Alright, so let's continue there. Like that. Alright, and then this one and this one. Let me just look at this real quick. So that's good, that's good. I'm just gonna check if I put all the smooth stone in this area. Okay, and that's good. So now we can go ahead and fill in